Okay, we're here at the conference of the Journal of Latinos in Education. This is Kathy's husband here, David. David, say hi.
Hello.
And then here's the journals that we brought for people. Mark.
Vamos a trabajar tú.
There's Kathy and Dr. Murillo.
Okay, wait.
With that Colgate smile.
Hold it up.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
That's nice. No, I mean, because I work with learning disabled children.
Okay.
So I'm always interested in anything educational.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I cover some other mainstream stuff. So it's in English. Yeah. Palestinians, Indians, the one like communities participate in this.
All right, this is before the conference. It's bound to get popping and hopping. Get back! Get out my face! Hello? Huh?
Gracias por invitarme a su sesión. I'm so excited to be here on multiple levels. As Enrique said, I am here sort of representing AERA, but in many ways I'm representing myself. I have many long-standing collegial and personal friendships in this room. And perhaps the most important one that I was reminded of is as I sat at the table, a dear and true friend, Enrique Trueba. I spoke with Artie Trueba last week, and we just reminisced about the significance and the spirit of Enrique and what he has meant to so many scholars. I am excited that we are going to California next year. This was a bilingual conference here, and it will be a bilingual conference there.
Okay, now I want to introduce Iris Riggs, who is our Associate Dean, California State University, San Bernardino.
I send you good wishes from the President of California State University and from the Provost, Luis Fernandez, and from the Dean of the College of Education, Patricia Arlen, who was not able to be with us tonight. She's typically here with us. And I'd also like to ask that any faculty from the College of Education at Cal State San Bernardino, would you please stand? And we're so glad to have you here tonight also. We're very proud at our university to be a co-sponsor of this event, and we hope you all have a wonderful time.
Yeah, I have some here.
Thank you. Okay, real quick, I want to introduce our team who's here this evening for the journal. So, Sophia, if you can stand up. She's our new associate editor for the Journal of Latinos in Education. She's a mother again, right, for the 4th time. And she's going to MC our awards ceremony, which will be at 8:30. Okay? Then Marco Leal, who I think is outside already. He's my assistant. He's our office manager, so he's outside. We have our videographer, Mario Valenzuela, who's here in the front. Okay. We got David Stevenson, who's our security. We didn't know what to call him, so it's always, big guy security. He takes a picture. He's also our photographer. And special thanks to Kathy Stevenson, you can raise your hand. She's our professional planner. This is the 4th year of doing this. So she makes this possible for us. Lastly, real quick, the members of our executive committee, I'm not sure who's here, but I think at least Juan Gutierrez is here representing the executive council. There he is. All right. Okay. And we just configured our advisory board. So if any of you who are now serving on the newly configured JLE advisory board, if you can maybe stand up for us or wave or something. Okay, nobody in the room at this time. Okay, real quick, I want to thank California State University, San Bernardino again, and all those folks. Thank you, Iris. Woo! I want to thank Lawrence Urban Associates, Inc. Okay? Yeah, un aplauso, pues. Sí, un aplauso. Okay. Hispanic Research SIG. Bilingual Education, Research SIG, Penn Graduate School of Education, the Bueno Center for Multicultural Education at UC Boulder, the Journal of Hispanic Higher Education, Cattle Gap Press, and Antioch University, Los Angeles. Okay, so a couple items. We get, again, like I said, we have the best band of all Quebec. I did my research. We called 11 or 13 Latino clubs here in the city, and we took a poll, and this is the band that won out. Okay, so we have them. Sandra and the Latin Groove. Then at 8:30 we'll do the award ceremony, okay? So enjoy yourselves. Buenas noches.
pero a mí no me importa, aunque tu maldad me haga daño. Que digan lo que digan, seguiré enamorado de ti, pues tú me gustas mucho, mujer, tu amor me has robado. El poder de no muera por culpa de tu boca, porque llevo dentro de mí, mi alma me destroza. Quiero perderme contigo en el vicio de tus labios. Déjame tu vicio, mami, en el vicio de tus labios. Déjame tu vicio, please, en el vicio de tus labios. Oh, 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 oh. Y con el mambo me cierra el vicio.
And they will present the Bilingual Education Dissertation Award 2005. So please welcome Virginia Gonzalez and Eva Merobucci for presenting the award.
Thank you. Buenas noches, todos. ¿Cómo están? Aquí con Eva tenemos el placer.
Buenas noches también.
Con Eva tenemos el placer. We have the pleasure of giving the 6th Dissertation Competition Award from the Bilingual Education Research Team. And this year, the 2005 Dissertation Award first place winner goes to the new doctor, Kate Menken, from Teachers College.
I was out there talking to some of my friends from the Midwest.
Did you get a shell shot in both places?
I don't think about it anymore. You know what I mean?
I just have so many people to thank. I first want to thank Professor
Liquor
Gonzalez
here is so cheap.
and Professor Chan and all of the members of the Bilingual for this incredible honor. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here. So I was asked to talk about the dissertation. But first I want to thank my dissertation sponsor and advisor, Professor Ofelia Garcia, who was unable to be with us tonight, but she's here with me and the other members of my dissertation committee, Jay Hubert, Thomas Sobel, and Professor Joan Kemp. So my dissertation is called When the Test is What Counts, How High-Stakes Testing Affects Language Policy and the Education of English Language Learners in High School. And I did my work over 1 year in New York City being a truly multilingual town. I did my work in 10 New York City high schools over the 2003-2004 academic year and talked to administrators, teachers, and students about their experiences with the testing being promoted under No Child Left Behind. In New York, you had to pass a set of 5 Regents exams, including one that's in English. It was really developed to evaluate native English speakers after 11 years of high school, schooling in the United States. And yet English learners must pass this exam in order to graduate. So while I think I don't want to be thought of as being someone who never thinks there are any benefits, there are some benefits of No Child Left Behind, being maybe some more attention on this population of students. Yet at the same time, I think the drawbacks really far outweigh those benefits. And in specific, all of the exams, including that of math, rely heavily on language proficiency. And as a result, English learners typically don't perform really well as native English speakers, which comes as no surprise to us. But yet, these tests carry incredibly high consequences. So we've seen a real increase in dropout rates in New York City as a result of the testing. In addition, tests decide language policy in schools. They are de facto language policy. They shape what content is taught in schools now, how it's taught, by whom it's taught, and what languages it's taught. In addition, I've talked to a lot of students whose time in high school has really been prolonged as a result of the focus on testing.
Oh no, don't worry about it.
Most schools, it's interesting because most schools have actually increased how much English students need to receive, even though in New York we have such a long history of supporting bilingual education. And at the same time, the effect on students' lives is something that we really need to take a look at. I've talked with lots of students who were able to pass all of the requirements for high school, yet unable to pass the tests that counted and were unable to graduate. And so those students experience testing and schooling now that's entirely focused on testing. We see so much teaching to the test right now. And we really, within this context, we've really created a situation in which language has become a liability, where what we see is the English that students lack rather than all the things that they bring, all the wonderful things that they bring to school. So, for example, anti-bilingual education legislation like Proposition 227 and Proposition 203 undermine our programming and our effectiveness with students, but yet they do that in an explicit way. Well, I think the testing for What If I Know Child Left Behind does the same thing, has the same effect in an implicit way. It's an issue of social justice that I really think we need to pay attention to. So I very much want to thank all of you for this opportunity and honor.
And I want to call your attention to the lavender handout that is on the table out there. It announces our 7th dissertation competition for next year. The deadline for submissions is by early May of 2006. So I, would like for you to take a copy and advertise that through your students, your institutions, to have a happy winner next year. The other brief announcement I would like to make is that LEA is also happy to sponsor the reception in relation to our new NABE review of research and practice. There are brochures and handouts out there that you can take. And the review of research and practice for NABE comes every year.
And Research Issues SIG, who will present the secondary or post-secondary education award for 2005. Please welcome my colleague at UT Austin, Joel Doran.
I don't have the award with me, but there are 2 other people who are going to present it with me. Are they in the room? Sue Heredia, are you here? And Diane Torres Velasquez. Before we present this award, I would just like to acknowledge the hard work of all of the people on the awards committee that I chaired for the past 2 years, the Hispanic Research Issues SIG. Robert Caparo, Ted Hammond, Gilda Bloom Lavilla, Martha Montero Siebert, Stephanie Spina, Jim Talise, Veronica Valdez, and myself. Thank you for all your work.
As chair of the Hispanic Research SIG, and outgoing chair, Diane Torres Velasquez, who is responsible for reinitiating this award. This year's recipient of the Hispanic Research Issues Special Interest Group is for education research. Education research is awarded to Marta Montero Siebert.
Joel for all of his work in reinstituting this award. He did a tremendous job. I couldn't get off the stage saying the following. First of all, I kept thinking, why am I getting this award? And I realized that I've been Pedro Pedraza's teacher for the last 25 years. I then said, of course not, it's not for that reason. I know it's because of my association with El Papi, Luis Moll. And then I said, of course, it can't be for that reason. I said, it's because Richard Ruiz and I are going to have some margaritas with the money we get from this. And then I finally realized it's because years ago I wrote the Ode to the Contrabandistas when we used to sneak the food up the hotel lobbies. We had security checks. We had the possibility of bringing everything up. Luis Moll's suitcase never smelled better. And then I finally realized the reason I truly got this award is who else can do the Chihuahua joke that I do? Leave her to me, she's mine. No one else could do that. So having said that, on a personal note, I want you to know that Altagracia Uribe, my great-grandmother, my grandmother, Librada López de Cuevas, my mother, Alicia López de Cuevas, are here in spirit tonight with us. And so is Henry Trueba, because they're part of my familia in many, many ways. And you are part of that familia. Where else can you hang out and really be able to be who you are, except here? So I want to thank you all on a personal note, and also let you know that it is a collective sense, and the generations that are to come, this is really a journey for all of us where we must turn over the baton to the new generations. And for me, it is a collective sense. El premio no es mío, es nuestro. Muchas gracias.
Okay, as many of you know, last year at the AERA conference in San Diego, the Journal of Latinos in Education helped sponsor a special tribute to Enrique Henry Torres Trueba. At that tribute, we presented him with a Lifetime Mentorship Award on behalf of the hundreds of graduate students he had mentored throughout his career in higher education. Also for his commendation, he also received a commendation from the Mayor of San Diego declaring a Henry Trueba Day, a commendation from the Governor, Schwarzenegger of California, which Henry found most amusing. And finally, a Lifetime Academic Achievement Award from the Journal of Latinos in Education. Although Henry was not able to attend his tribute because he was battling cancer at the time, we serenaded him with mariachis, videotaped the entire event, and sent it on to him in Houston. Enrique and I drove out to take the DVD to him. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see him that day, but he very much enjoyed watching it. And we were very fortunate indeed that Henry was able to watch it, to view it, and to enjoy it, and laugh with delight at all the attention he got from his colegas and academic family at ARA. We felt even more fortunate that Henry was able to see, hear, and know, while he was still alive, how much we loved and respected him. Too often these kinds of accolades happen after one's passing. For this, his family was immensely grateful. Arlie Trueba told the planning committee that the tribute was the best gift Henry could have received at that time and in his life. It was also at that conference that Enrique Murillo, editor of the Journal of Latinos in Education, announced the creation of a Henry T. Trueba Award to be presented thereafter to an individual deemed to exemplify the spirit and quality of Henry's commitment to academic excellence, to his mentorship of students, collaboration with colleagues, service to his profession, and contribution to the educational advancement of the Mexicano Latino community. Tonight, it is my great pleasure to announce the first recipient of the Henry T. Treva Award, to pass on the torch, to pass on the legacy. This candidate needs no introduction. In a more formal setting, we would sing all his praises, but tonight we will give you a Super Bowl, commercial brief version of his accomplishments. First, his credentials are impeccable. A bachelor's from California Polytechnic University in Pomona, an MSW from USC, a pre-postdoctoral fellow at the Institute for Comparative Human Development at the Rockefeller University in New York, and a PhD in psychology and early childhood education from UCLA. Tonight's candidate has received numerous other awards and honors. For example, he is an elected member of the National Academy of Education. He has been a distinguished lecturer at ARA, a recipient of a research award from the National Association of Multicultural Education, and he serves on the editorial boards of more than 20 top-tier academic journals in the field of education, and also in the fields of psychology, anthropology, human development, here and also abroad. He has been an invited, distinguished keynote speaker for numerous local, national, and international conferences and universities. His work in examining the intersections of language, culture, and literacy, and Vygotsky's work has made a tremendous contribution to our understanding of the social-cultural nature of language and literacy, and in particular, understanding the funds of knowledge available to children in Latino and low-income communities and homes. I doubt there is anyone in this room that is not familiar with his work, his stellar publication record, his spirit of collaboration with colleagues, his leadership, his warm personality, and his service and contributions to the advancement of education in general, and to the Latino community in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, there is simply too much to say about this candidate. So without much further ado, we will introduce tonight's recipient, currently a professor in the Department of Language, Reading, and Culture, and Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the College of Education at the University of Arizona.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Henry T. Treva Award for Lifetime Achievement in Scholarship, Mentorship, and Service is presented to Luis C. Moll.
Muchas gracias, compañeros. No, pero... Gracias, amigos. Es muy emocionante esto, se los agradezco. Primero quiero dar